Hello everyone and welcome to another brand new episode of the Mark and Me podcast. Today's episode is the second part of my 2000 Trees podcast specials. There's so much on these episodes, including a huge range of interviews from bands that played at the festival. Hopefully you've listened to the first part so this will make sense, and if you did, you'd have heard interviews with Movements, Meryl Streep and Spanish Love Songs. This special only came out yesterday, but it's been doing so well, but I wanted to follow it up with the second part today, and my god, I've got 3 incredible bands for you today. Kicking things off, I've got this amazing brand new band that I believe were the talk of the festival. They have so much hype, but they have absolutely delivered. It's Vower. After that, I've got probably one of the most crazy and just random interviews I think I've done at the whole of the festival and maybe I've ever done on Mark and Me with the outrageous Blood Command. And then to finish things off today, I've got one of the most impressive bands that I've seen at the festival. Everyone loves them. Everyone's so happy to see them. Yes, I'm joined by Hot Mulligan. So what I want to do first is to get to the band that I think are just going to go onto a whole other level. They've only got one EP out. They've just been announced for Arctangent as well as 2000 Trees. They blew everyone away. It's got some of the best band members from previous bands like Palm Reader and Black Peaks. They're a super group, but my god, they're fucking awesome. And today I'm lucky enough to be joined by 2 members of the band, Josh and Rabia. So now let's get straight to that interview. Here's me and Vower talking all things 2000 Trees. So I'm here with Vower backstage at 2000 Trees. You've just done your set. Guys, have you even had time to kind of digest and reflect? Is it just still a bit fucking chaotic in your head? Or have you had time just to say, we just fucking did our first festival?
I certainly haven't processed it yet.
Nope.
No, we sort of got our stuff off stage and then came straight to the press area.
It's that classic thing like hurry up and wait before you play. And then there's 10 minutes of chaos before you play, about 15 minutes of chaos afterwards.
Yeah.
And then here we are.
But I can recall being very excited to be on stage and overwhelmed with the sheer number of people that came to watch.
Yeah. The only thing I can really remember is how happy I was. Yeah, just overwhelmed is probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah. Seems the reception to the music has been really positive, and people seemed hyped to see it and hear it, and like you said, there was even people singing the words, and it's like we only just put the EP out, so people must have been listening to it a lot.
Yeah, there was parts where I could hand off the mic to the crowd to get them to sing along.
How surreal is that when you've only had 4 tracks out there for the world to listen to?
Yeah, and this is our 3rd ever show.
Yeah.
You don't do... There's a weird thing, right? So I was genuinely a hand-on-heart huge fan of Black Peaks. For me, one of the greatest set of musicians that we've had in the country. Palm Reader, it still saddens me, and I haven't accepted yet that tomorrow's the final day. It feels like I'm not going to believe it until I'm there, and then I'll cry. But when you guys, and I'm good friends with Emma, hinted that there was something coming of this band joining forces and your absolute legacy of guitar and your incredible work you've done, it was like this supergroup was born, but without even hearing a song, there was a hype. And I think it's because James from Arctangent and 2000 Trees had been bigging you up on his podcast, saying he had heard an exclusive early play of your EP. But before you'd even put anything out, you were confirmed for this and Arctangent. I've never seen this in the music scene, especially over here, for years.
I mean, without knowing how other bands operate, I can't say I've seen it either, but like I've certainly never been involved in anything that's been this hotly tipped and anticipated. It's a lot to process, but it's amazing. Like it's the most positive anyone's ever been without hearing me sing about my singing.
I think to say James is just a legend for sort of believing in it.
Yeah,
and I think because, you know, obviously the guys, Liam and Joe from Peaks, and you guys from Palm Reader, like, I've known James for a long time, and also my old band Tosca had played Arctangent a few times.
Yeah.
And so there's a history there, and I think when it was Liam that had sort of said, hey, we got a new thing, do you want to hear it? Like, it'd be really cool if we could possibly play. And he sent the stuff over, and he was just super supportive. Like, James has been a legend about it, so it's thanks to him really that we're here.
Yeah.
So
how long was it that the EP was recorded? So I've obviously seen your videos on YouTube, and you've been really transparent with the fans about being able to see you guys performing these songs. I love that you got Liam's drums video take. I'm a nerd for that sort of stuff. I'm like, I love watching Tool videos. I'm like, how the fuck are they playing these instruments and playing this music? And you were all very like, well, here's me doing my vocal take, here's me doing my guitar take. Even the bassist, you don't get this in every band. They're like, fuck the bassist.
Yeah.
But you guys were like,
oh, Rory, we love you.
Yeah, a lot. But it was it a long time that the EP's been done and you've had to kind of hide it away, or is it still? I don't know the backstory of how long that's been sat there.
I mean, in terms of the in terms of the content and like the videos, the playthroughs and everything, that's very much just like us doing whatever we want to do. It's not necessarily planned to precision. It's just like it's just a way of people getting more out of the band than just listening to the songs, and I think it's important. And like you say, like, people obviously enjoy it. Like, if I myself like watching people play drums.
Yeah,
I think as well, like, because my sort of history or my career over the last 10 years has been predominantly online. I've had bands and toured and stuff, but like my day-to-day life is making YouTube content and doing stuff on Instagram, like, just for myself. And having experienced how sharing more detail, like a playthrough of the song, or like the behind the scenes of rehearsals or recording sessions, stuff like that, like seeing how much people invest in getting to see that stuff. They get to really connect to the band and the people in the band on a really big scale, and it's like, I feel like that was one of the things I was like, we should totally do playthroughs, because I know from in the past, it's people love that kind of thing because they get to see your individual performance in excruciating detail, and I just think that's quite a priceless thing. And for me, the biggest one is getting to see a vocalist do it. When you see the vocalist perform the song from start to finish,
it's, genuinely the most terrifying thing.
But it's sick. I love seeing.
Do you realise? And I'm not kissing your ass. Do you realise how fucking great that vocal is? Like,
man.
Like,
I'm
have
a
you
big
read
fan
the
of his
YouTube
vocal
comments? Like, people are gushing over it. It's not just oh, he's pretty good. It's like, best singer in the country. Like, this is the best frontman vocalist out there, and you're just nailing it.
That's very kind.
It's true. I'm not paid to say this.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think you were real, so I follow this band, and I go and see, and I've bumped into Liam at gigs, and I've wanted to see Black Peaks. I've seen Palm Reader recently with Thrice and their own shows, and you've been on before. But I thought you were like a fictional character. I was like, he's on Instagram, he's on Facebook, he's on Twitter, but is he real? And I looked up today, and I was like, he's actually real. He's actually a human being. They hid you well. Because you do it all on Instagram, and you do a lot of your stuff on YouTube, so everyone's a big fan of your work. But I was like, he's actually in the flesh.
Like one of like the leading forces in innovation, and like in what we do, especially like in like prog and post-hardcore, whatever you want to call it, metal, guitar playing.
But for me, like, the main thing for me has always been being in a band, writing songs, playing gigs, and that's always been the thing. Well, it became the thing that was kind of like, not on the sides, the wrong word, but it's the closest thing I can think to feeling. It's like the YouTube, Instagram, online thing. It becomes the day job, if you want to call it that. But like, the passion is about writing songs, being in a band, and being completely honest. I have been desperate to be back in a band, writing songs with a vocalist. For so many years, and getting to do this, I'm just on cloud 9 the whole time. I listened to that EP, and I'm not ashamed to say, like, I love listening to our new EP because it's so sick that I'm in a band with a vocalist that I'm a fan of his voice, and not to just go there for a second, you know.
I thought we got off
but
that,
it's great. I just feel super blessed to be in that position again. It's so much fun being in a band again.
Likewise. I mean, I feel like it's amazing being like at the front of the stage and having all of that behind me. It's an incredible feeling. I'm very happy.
It isn't normal as well to kind of, right, let's do our first little show, and then, was it Carnival you had 2 dates with?
Yeah.
And then it's like, now we'll do 2000 Trees, now we're going to Art Tangent. I wouldn't put it past you that next year you headline Download Festival.
No.
You and Sleep Token.
Like,
look at the fucking way the world's going for you guys. No one does this. First gigs are usually a battle of the bands or a local fucking gig with your mates who have got a support slot. No one does it like this. It is surreal.
It's timing. That's all it is. It's timing.
Do you want to know what's funny though? Our first band practice as a whole band, as in every member in the room, was the week of the Carnival gig.
Yeah, like a few days before
That's
Carnival.
Fucking insane.
It's really weird.
And the first time I'd ever sang the songs the whole way through was the vocal playthroughs on YouTube.
Fucking
It's totally weird, man. Like, just the way it kind of came about.
I'd never sang those songs all the way through
Like,
before.
we never had a band practice even when we were in the studio recording the EP.
Yeah, I think the takes that are up on YouTube were like third take.
Yeah. It's crazy, but like, that's how much confidence I guess we have in each other with the band and with the material that
Absolutely.
we're like, I don't know.
The lineup is magical. Like, Liam is
explosive.
one of the greatest drummers, and he's so original with what he does. And even listening to Black Peaks and stuff, he always did more than was needed, but then when you listen to it, it's exactly what the song needs.
Yeah.
And he's technically just unbelievable. So when they broke up and he was still just doing videos and just playing, I was gutted. I was like, this guy needs to be on a fucking stage. This is a waste. Ruben, one of my favourite bands of all time. Guy,
Amazing
what
band.
an incredible drummer.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why are you not playing in every fucking band all over the country? Because that band were one of the greatest ever. I'm like, these musicians shouldn't be just jamming at home. They need to be on a
I agree with that
stage.
wholeheartedly, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So you've got a fucking stellar lineup, you know?
Yeah. Feel kind of jammy, lucky, thankful,
Yeah,
all of the
absolutely.
feelings.
There's no weak link. Look at Joe on guitar.
certainly not.
One of the most underappreciated guitarists in the country, because look
Joe
what he plays.
The best bit is when we're writing these tunes and we'll get to a bit in the song like, needs a riff. And then Joe just goes, and then
kicks the door in. Hello.
yeah, he just
Bring out the riff man.
out of nowhere within 30 seconds has written an absolute barnstormer of a riff. It's just like, well, that works. That's going in.
He's such a quiet person as well, and kind of subdued, and you're like,
Yeah.
are you alright, buddy? And he's like, yeah, and then you just pick up a guitar and he's like, bam, and I'm like,
Absolute shredder.
you are fucking, that's what you're here for.
It's like he saves them all for putting it into guitar riff.
Yeah.
Such a gentle soul, but then like the anger is in the riff. Yeah.
Yeah, the ability is certainly there, shall we say.
Do you feel pressured when you're surrounded with these, and
No,
I'm
'cause
saying this with respect,
No, because it's so inspiring.
the solid
dude.
lineup, but you just
Yeah,
pinching yourself like, I'd just be like, listen to that guitar riff, listen to that drums, listen to that bass, wow.
Don't get me wrong, like I feel like if you don't have imposter syndrome on some level in doing what we do, then there's probably something a little bit off.
Yeah.
Then that's just ego driving you, and that's not the way to do it. It's a way of humbling yourself. As long as you don't listen to that voice the whole time, you're fine. But it's more inspiring to me than anything else to hear what these guys can do. The first time I heard any of the demos, it's just immediately things are coming to me, and that's not necessarily ever really been the case.
No.
Only like a select few songs in the past have ever just like jumped out at me straight away. So to have that on every single song that I'm receiving from the guys is just like,
Yeah, and like I
crazy.
love vocals. I don't write lyrics or sing in a band myself, never really have, but I'm a big fan of vocalists and what they
Yep.
do. And so working with you, and like he'd come down to the studio to write the vocals for the songs, and just getting to sit in the studio and workshop ideas and track it and just feel it, and like, yeah.
You've not
It's-
worked a day, have you, in this band?
No,
It's not been
it's such
any
a
work.
plain sailing vibe, and
Yeah.
that's what I love. It's like it's
it's-
in the most like respected way possible. Like it's been easy, and I don't say that in the sense of like we're lazy or like or take it for granted.
that's
No,
not a
it's just been
flippant comment.
it's just been enjoyably, thankfully easy.
yeah, in the best way, like because we fucking love what we're doing.
Yeah,
We love the songs. and we love what we're doing.
Yeah.
I know you might get this question a lot, but do you consciously, when writing songs, try and leave the Palm Reader and the Black Peaks and your previous stuff back, so people aren't going to be like, I wonder if this sounds like Black Peaks with Palm Reader singing? Are you consciously not just tailing off the back of those bands because they left such a good legacy?
I mean, for me personally, I'm not really too conscious about it. I think my voice is at the forefront of Palm Reader and at the forefront of Vower.
Yeah.
So there will always be like that. Oh, that's
the guy from them. Yeah.
Like, so I'll never be able to escape that.
I mean, there are bits you can hear that those influences from those bands in Vower, because it's an amalgamation of all of them. Like, I could say, there are bits of Shroud or there are bits of In the Wake of Failure that's like, well, that I can hear Black Peaks as the foundation because it's Joe and Liam, like the guitar riffs and the drumming energy from Black Peaks, so you can hear that in there. Yeah. And some of the more ambient, dynamic, ethereal stuff that I used to do a lot in Tosca. You can hear it all meld together, and then obviously, as Josh just said, the way that he lays it down on top is. But I guess it's slightly more. There's you're singing a lot more. I mean, there's a lot of singing in Palm Reader, but this is more focused on singing.
Yeah, but none of it's really a conscious effort to veer away from anything. Like, I think I can hopefully speak for everyone when I say that every part that's written for every instrument, and myself included, like, it's just an honest representation of how we do it. It's not necessarily a conscious decision. It's the whole process has been serving the songs and just making music that we really want to listen to.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah, go with your gut and like not overcook any idea.
Yeah,
that's been the thing, particularly when Joe and I are in the studio writing the demos. In the early stages, with the ones on Apricity and even with the album that we've written, like the whole time it's been, is that a vibe? Yeah. Sick. All right, let's move on to next section. There's never any like, do you think we should adjust this note? Do you think we should lengthen it? Like,
there's no filler on that EP. There's never a guitar lick or a drum or an extra vocal that feels like it's just there for the sake of filling the sound. Yeah. And my favourite bands are bands that use dynamics. Dustin Kendrew with Thrice, the way he writes, especially with Tepe on guitar, it's heavy, but it's not Slayer heavy. It's heavy in a clean way.
Weighty heavy.
That's exactly. You sum it up like in musically terms.
It's just dynamics, right?
It is, and dynamics is what makes me. Even bands like Paramore, I fucking love because I love the fact that they can do this, and I love that Hayley Williams with this musician. It is exactly that.
It's emotion as well. Like, it's the same way when talking. Like, there's certain like words that you want to emphasize, there's certain emotions that you want to emphasize, and if a song was the same pace the whole way through, I mean, after a certain amount of time, you just get fucking bored. Like, there's
or if this podcast was like, welcome to Mark and me, how are you?
The whole fucking time.
Yeah.
But also, like, not technical stuff. Like, I personally actively didn't want to do any kind of really technical music, because particularly from my background being online, it's a guitar niche community. Yeah. It's more focused on technical guitar, shred, like prog metal, like really intense riffs. Like, most of my favorite bands, in fact all of my favorite bands, are nothing like that. So I think a big emphasis on the songs just have to be about the song. It's not about that one riff or that one lick or that one drum fill. It's just like a good tune that you invest yourself in when you listen to it, and you identify with something in the song and you get something from it. That's definitely, I think.
Amen.
We're getting told we've got to wrap up. So when you came on the podcast, you chose a song at the end of the episode. You might not remember this, it was 2 years ago.
I don't remember the song.
But it was a song that you meant a lot. I'm going to give it you this time because tomorrow you can choose live on stage your song choice for the Palm Reader final interview.
Give me a heads up, I've got some time to think now, yeah.
So what I do on the podcast, everyone's had this question, even Chino last week, every single person that's been on, Silverchair, whoever it is, they've all had reasons. Sick. They were fucking great.
Yeah.
Now, you can have any song by any band in the whole world of music to be played after today's interview. But it can be any song. And Emma's going to say to me now, come on, you've only got a minute left. but what's a song that means a lot to you that after this is all edited and the world's ready to listen to Vower on Mark and Me, a song is played at the very end?
That means a lot to me.
Yep. Any band, any song. I'm putting you on the spot. You probably have a million songs.
It would, to be honest, the first one that comes to mind, and just talking about going with your gut, is Eons by Carnival.
Wow.
Because the lyrics and the message in the song, for me, there's something about it like that just gets me every time I listen to it. Super emotional. So
that's a great choice. You've now got till tomorrow to think.
Yeah, shit.
It'll be good.
Or it would be Dusk by Ruben.
I fucking love that. What a closer. Dun dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun.
Dusk by Ruben's an absolute banger.
It is.
And that was when I first heard that, I had that same pull on the heartstrings thing. Like, it's
Race
just a
Car
great
is a perfect album. Absolutely flawless.
100%. Even the name is banging.
I know. Amazing.
Front to back, all back to front, eh?
Yeah.
That's it. Exactly. Nice. Thank you, boys.
Cheers, man.
The stars have gone out from behind yours. This pain is real. This wound is life size, and I can't believe it. You need to pull through, and I hope you make it. I'm waiting.
So there's my first interview with the awesome Vower. Genuinely one of the best sets of the whole weekend. They're going to go on to such big things, supporting Carnival as I think one of their first ever shows. My God, the future is going to be huge and I'm here for it. I think the EP as we're speaking is sold out, but go and listen to it on Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen because it's absolutely awesome. And I mean it, my release of the year. Next up, we have a band that I've never spoken to before, and my God, it was crazy. Blood Command. A band that have got an absolute huge following. People are so excited to see them at 2000 Trees. I didn't catch their set, but everyone was talking about it. I'm going to make sure I see them at Arctangent. So yeah, let's get to it. Here's me and Blood Command talking all things, well, absolutely fucking everything, to be honest. Blood Command, welcome to the Mark and Me podcast.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us. We're
Thank
glad
you.
to be here at 2000 Trees
Yay.
today. Yeah.
What I love to do, guys, with every band that comes on is take it right back to the start. And I love to know when you were growing up, the first album that you both bought that made you fall in love with music.
Oh my God, this is such a good question. Mine was definitely Sex Pistols. Wow. Yeah.
Was that the first album you bought?
The first album I bought, yeah.
Then I want to
cool
lie about
album.
mine.
What was it?
That's
what
a cool
was
one, isn't it?
yours?
I was this record.
That's a Hand on Heart. That was the first one I bought.
This
That's a
record
brilliant
was,
first album.
Yeah.
This record was forced on me, but the first one I bought from a friend who said you need a CD, and I didn't have any CDs. It was Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic by
That's a hell of an album.
Red
love
Hot
that.
Chili Peppers.
Okay. I might have lied. Mine might have been
Yeah,
Spice
yeah,
World.
yeah.
There's a
Come
hell of a
on.
difference. There's a
Come
hell of a
on.
difference. So there's one that's really cool and people are like, wow, and the other's like,
No,
But it was Spice Girls.
I'm more proud of.
yeah.
But I think Nevermind the
Very
Bollocks was my
different,
first
yeah,
one
very
that I
different.
actually bought.
Wannabe and then Sex Pistols.
But I
It's-
think my mum bought me Spice World.
Yeah.
So me personally, it was Nevermind the Bollocks.
Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic is one of the greatest albums ever, especially by Chili Peppers. Like
I
Breaking the Girl
I
and Give
hate
It Away.
the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
So do
though.
I.
That album's
Worst
brilliant.
bad fucking album.
Why do you not like them?
I don't like
Why?
It's not for me. I'm not into that funk slap. Boom thing.
I'm
Fair
not
enough.
into
They have
dudes
some-
at 16-year-olds when they're 50.
That's fair.
Like they have some good
That's fair,
songs.
but
They
this
have
is-
some
this
good
is
songs.
20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah. I had a premonition.
Yeah, I love that. And what about live music? So my first gig was Green Day.
I think my very first gig ever, I don't know, like maybe the Wiggles, if I had to
Yeah.
really take it back. But I would maybe say like Good Charlotte
Yeah.
when I was like 14.
My first.
I don't know, it's a hard one.
My first one was a local band called Stereo Fish.
Yeah.
Who was playing this kind of Brit pop-ish thing.
I think mine might have been a local one too, a big concert though. I say Good Charlotte, yeah.
That's a great band to start with.
Yes.
Really
Yes.
good. And they're cool now. They're not writing about 15-year-old girls anymore. Like
No.
they're doing the right thing.
Exactly.
So how long have you guys known each other? When did you first guys meet?
Well, we met in 2021, but we started to talk in 2020, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Start of 2020.
That's
Then
awesome.
that's when the catfishing started.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ingvar pretended that he was from this really cool band. I believed it. But he messaged
pull you
me.
in.
I didn't know how to say his name. I was like, who is this Ingvar Anderson? And then
Satan.
Nearly got me. We're all good.
there was a spillage of a beverage here.
Of liquid death.
But that
It
happens
was
to
just
It was
everyone.
water.
almost a liquid death.
Liquid death sounds a lot more cool than it is. It's just a can of water. But Ingvar messaged me on Facebook and said, what are you doing now that your band has broken up? Because I was in another band.
Yeah, of course.
And the rest is history. I just said, yep, I'll join your band. It's gone through a hard time in my life. And he really did save my life. Like, I have him to thank for everything.
That's
now.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first kind of rehearsal or songwriting session?
Yeah, I remember our first rehearsal. I was
Yeah.
really nervous. It went really well, though.
Yeah.
Like, considering.
Yeah. But I think I remember more first writing session. 'Cause I was
Same.
like, okay, it's happening. And it was very strange. We recorded. People are pretty sick of hearing of this now, I guess. But we recorded the vocals in Australia over Skype.
For Praise Armageddon.
Praise Armageddon.
Wow.
And that was
Yes.
really special to sit there and just listen to them. Now it's fucking happening because we've been talking for so long and trying to get her over, but it was COVID and all, right?
So we'd released 2 singles.
Yep.
And we'd recorded a whole record. So by the time I got to Norway, we had a whole record ready to drop. And then when I got to Norway, we were meant to go on this big tour with Kvelertak,
Yeah.
the pretty known.
I fucking love
Norwegian
Kvelertak.
band.
Amazing band.
So does Ingvar.
And
It's his
Nick
favourite
is
band.
They're
Nick is
incredible.
favorite
Yeah,
band
it's
too.
Ingvar's favourite band.
She loves
And,
Vidar. She loves.
I
That's your best friend,
know.
isn't it?
Yeah. And
Unbelievable.
so
Even though they changed their singer, they were still amazing.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I was
we
like, are they gonna still sound good? And they were like, yeah, they're fucking
they're
brilliant.
even better now
Right.
with Eva.
Yeah,
All the
amazing.
power to Eva.
All the long solos, the 18-minute songs.
Oh,
I
man,
love
them.
it.
so
Especially you
good.
love it, yeah. It's
They're
so
my
good.
favourite
Yeah.
more than Ingvar's.
Yeah.
But so we were meant to go on a tour with them, but because it was cancelled because of COVID,
Yeah, fucked
we
everything up.
recorded World Domination, our album we released
Yep.
in September, and it was just this fantastic bonding experience between me and Ingvar because we were able to see that we could write together. Ingvar believes that he's written all of the lyrics, which is not true. I've written half of them.
Nicky thinks so, and
I'm
this
gonna
is
take
pure
a
lies.
course over this.
We can go through this after the interview, but okay.
It's a team. It's
No,
a
I'm
team
kidding.
effort.
Ingvar
It's a
writes
team.
It's a
everything,
team
and then we
effort.
write the lyrics together. But he
Yeah.
comes up with all the melody, and I'm there to be a part of the party and the I add the
celebration.
pizzazz.
The truth was that we have a great way of writing
Yeah.
together. We
Yeah.
Right.
bounce off ideas on each other.
And it's not ever happened to either of us before. Like
No.
we've never written with anybody before. We've both tried and it's never worked, and then it worked together. It's just been fantastic.
What was it like when you thought we can go to the UK and play some shows? That must be like, fuck yeah, like this is.
I mean, we'd both been
Both
before.
done
with-
that
separately.
a fucking million times though.
yeah, but
That's
when
fair.
we did it together, we
Yeah.
just thought way more MDMA, way more amphetamines, and way more
A
fun.
little bit ketamine too. In
Yeah,
there.
just a little bit. No, I'm kidding. We just had a great time sober.
Yeah. Really sober?
Yeah.
Wow. Is
Always.
it
Fuck-
still fun over here
fuck
sober?
drugs.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We're drinking liquid death.
I know.
Water.
It's just pure water.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about 2000 Trees? Do you get nervous about doing this show?
No,
I get kind of nervous doing every show.
I get nervous in like a good way, but today I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I'm a bit nervous about
Yeah.
that. But I'm not going to give that away. People will hear this after the show,
Yep.
so
They'll
I'm
never
just gonna
know.
Go on and I sound like I'm a pack-a-day smoker, which I'm not. But
Two
the show
packs.
must go on. You must do it.
Yeah.
Whiskey, cough medicine, you know.
Amphetamines.
You made that.
Yes.
No
Made that.
drugs ever. No.
And
MDMA.
do you feel nervous at all before the show?
I do every time.
I do too. I always have to do the nervous pee and poo.
Yeah.
Pee and poo to help.
I think
poo.
I think it's never gonna stop for me being there. I'm always.
But I like it because it adds
I think it's adrenaline, isn't it?
adrenaline.
I think it's a bigger problem.
Is it
with-
adrenaline or adrenaline?
well, you're the
adrenaline.
English speakers.
Adrenaline.
Adrenaline.
It adds adrenaline.
Yeah.
I think if that stops, if you stop being nervous before a show, that's not a good sign.
I
then
think
you
so
don't,
too.
then
Yeah,
you don't
true.
care enough.
I get the adreds.
While you're here, do you get to do more shows and make a whole trip of it, or?
We're
We're coming back to this exact area
For
Arctangent.
Arctangent.
Yeah.
Tangent.
That's a hell of a festival.
Yeah, we're coming
Amazing.
back to
And
the
it's
Hell
right
of a
there,
Festival.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
cool.
amazing.
Are you going to be sitting in this exact spot then?
It's not exactly here; it's up the road, but it's.
So you're going to be
not
like
exactly
a
here.
kilometre away, sitting with the microphone a kilometre away.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's a fucking
Love
amazing
that
festival.
for you.
They're gonna love it.
But we'll be there.
Yeah,
We'll see you there.
promise.
Yeah.
We'll have a
Cool.
drink of.
You'll bring the
Not
you'll
liquid
bring the
death.
Not liquid
amphetamine.
death. Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
you
bring
can send
the
me the list of the
drugs.
things you need.
We'll bring you the rider.
Are you
You
gonna?
supply it with
Yeah, what's your rider look like? Because all these podcasts now
Yeah,
are
that's
doing
a
it.
good
do you have a good, do you have
question.
a good rider?
No.
No,
Are you just like
we asked
not
for local
good
beer,
enough?
and they've asked like beer.
Well, I get cigarettes. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because
And we get-
they're
I get fucking
expensive.
jack shit.
It puts on some, I don't know. What
Gucci sunglasses. No,
Well, we get
what
2
I
bottles of
like,
liquor, yeah?
We like whiskey. Like I'm
Yeah.
a whiskey gal. I
That's
like a
good.
single malt.
Okay.
But they always give us some crap. Some
like
fucking
supermarket
vodka
fucking-
fucking
yeah.
shit. No, sorry, I don't know if I can swear on it.
No, that's fine. But you're
Too
not
late
you're
for
not
that
getting
now.
you're not getting the really nice whiskey.
No, but sometimes.
Sometimes we get some good shit, yeah.
We might sometimes, but it just depends where you are. When I first met Ingve, he was like, the writer said only healthy snacks, and I said absolutely not. We're putting
We
chips
want some
on
proper
there.
stuff, yeah.
We're putting chips on
Look
there.
what happened.
Now look at how beautiful we look.
Are you going to get to see other bands while you're here? Are you going to go and check out some other bands? or
We
you just here?
don't see bands.
We don't. Unfortunately, my friends in the chats and Dune Rats are playing, but we miss.
I love
them.
Doom Rats. They're a great band.
Yeah, they're playing tomorrow though, and we're
Yeah.
gone.
Oh.
We're back to Norway.
Literally, you just come in, play the show, then go straight
Oh
back.
yeah, that's how we do it, baby. Yeah.
Do you
we
not-
don't hang around in the UK if we don't got it.
What's
you
the
know.
other thing? So you're back for Arctangent, and then there's a tour. You doing
And then we're
some-
doing Radar Festival
yeah.
in Manchester.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Excited?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool to play shows.
As many as you can.
Well, if the show is cool.
If the offer is right, we'll be
Yeah.
there.
And
We'll
the
be there.
whiskey's good.
Yeah, but that's
Yes.
always. That's not always in place.
So you do.
But you know, we go to a show. It doesn't matter what show,
Yeah.
and we make it a good show.
Of
And I
course.
really believe that. We do.
Yeah, we do. I concur. I
Yeah.
agree.
But I'm going to come and see you guys, and I hope it's a good show.
Shit. Now the pressure's on.
And then
baby.
you're gonna tell us after.
And I'll put on the end of the podcast like they were
That
shit.
sucks.
They were so bad.
Cocky little
Don't give them
amphetamine
motherfuckers.
shit.
Do not
Cocky
give them-
junkies.
Do not give them fucking good whiskey. Give them the cheapest
Give
vodka
them
ever, because they
Jack.
don't deserve it.
Give them Johnny Walker red
Give them
label.
the liquid defo. Oh god.
Shittiest though.
It's pretty as shit.
Are you excited tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Can't you see
I'm
that?
You're in
really
a good
excited.
slot, man. You're in a good slot.
It's a good thing, yeah.
I think we're clashing with like a very famous person, but it doesn't matter because my theory in life is that we are the best.
That's a good theory to have.
Theory.
What I do, guys.
truth.
That's the truth.
Yeah. What I do on this podcast to end it is you both get to choose a song that you love by any band, and it
Okay.
will play after the interview. So as this is all recorded,
Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter.
boom. That was very quick. What's the reason that one came to your heart?
Because I just love that she like wears her costumes and dances like slutty, and that's like my whole vibe on stage.
I love the honesty. You've now got to pick something completely different.
This is how we do it by Solid Bass.
Yes!
Wow. That's the party
This
song.
is how we do it. Everybody do it. From the left to the right.
I don't need to put the song on. You could just cover it and do it.
Acapella version, yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for coming on the podcast.
It's always a pleasure, never a chore.
There you go. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
This is how you do it. Everybody move it. From the left to the right. That's the way you do it. I will prove it. I will prove it. Come and do it. Come and do it. Everybody sing along with me.
So yeah, I did tell you that interview was absolutely insane. I could have never prepared for that. But my God, I had fun, and it sounds like those guys did too. But go and check out Blood Command. Their music videos are great. Their production is amazing. And again, another band that are going to get bigger and better. And it was so good to see the response at 2000 Trees. Now to finish things off today, I'm joined by a band that I've only recently discovered, but I've fallen deeply for them. Hot Mulligan. Their songs are so unique, so catchy, so beautiful. The lyrics are amazing. And I'm absolutely thrilled to have sat down and be joined by Nathan, or Tades from the band. And my God, this guy's a great character, very funny, very dry, and I just adored him. So let's get to the interview. Here's me and Hot Mulligan talking all things 2000 Trees.
So scared that you don't want me here in the corner of the living room reading subtitles, 'cause I can't hear the show you put on the noise while you're
I'm here at 2000 Trees with Taints. Welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Hello.
How are you doing on this bright, lovely day one of 2000 Trees?
Oh boy, am I hungover.
Yeah.
Been on tour for a little bit, and something about being in the UK is that you get more beer than water. So
Yeah, we like to drink here, and we're quite good at it. And a lot of our beers aren't watered down. It's not all this like Bud Light and all this. We just go full out.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
are you feeling the effects of it today?
I've been on a bender for like 2 weeks now, so I'm just kind of coasting. Insane bowel movements.
Wow. This is where we're going already in the first minute of the podcast. Bowel movements.
Oh, I'm quick to introduce myself.
What I think the secret is to not stop. So just keep going. Otherwise, you're going to suddenly feel like death.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just don't ever let this end. Even if it goes on for 2 years, just keep going.
That's sage advice.
What I do on this podcast, and this is your first time on the podcast, I've been to many festivals, but I like to ask the same question to start the kind of ball rolling, is when you were a kid growing up, do you remember that first album that you bought that maybe made you fall in love with music? Maybe that first one that you were obsessed with?
I don't know. I was kind of a late bloomer into cool music, but I bought when I was like, I don't know, 15. I bought a Fat Wreck Chords compilation album. It had like a bunch of like dope old, not old, but old enough for me stuff, like Swingin' Utters and Lagwagon, and I think there was like a Propaganda thing on there too, and like NoFX obviously. And that was like my first foray in like getting something for myself. I wanted to get like the most bang for my buck, so I got something that was just a ton of shit, and it was awesome. That was a cool introduction. After that, like the dedicated artist stuff that I found, I was big into Rise Against.
What a band! What a great band!
So like Siren Songs of the Counterculture was massive when I was younger.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh man, now after this interview I'm going to spend some time listening. I've not listened for ages.
Yeah, dude, they're still like amazing. Rise Against is so sick.
Awesome. And live music changed for me when I went to my first gig. I was only about 14. My parents dropped me off and I went to see Green Day on their Dookie tour. So for me, that's their peak. That's when I was absolutely loving them.
Yeah.
And I wondered if you remember, even if it's embarrassing, what that first show was for you that you went to that was just, just a hell of a great night.
That's the thing, dude. Where me and Chris grew up, there weren't really shows. Like, I'm from the woods, so I was cutting trees and blowing fireworks, and like, there was nothing else to do. No shows were happening because I lived in the forest. So the first show that I really went to, like a DIY show, was one that we played. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
Was there just literally just no scene at all? Was it just
No, dude.
nobody stopped off anywhere nearby?
No. The town that I live in now has been occupied almost entirely by Amish people. It upped the population by at least like 70%. Like,
So what inspires you at that age then to think I need to try and make a name for myself in the worst, hardest conditions known to man?
well, I still don't want to make a name for myself. I very much don't care about doing well.
No.
I just kind of want to make songs that are cool.
That's
So-
awesome. That's refreshing to hear because everyone usually is like, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be famous, I want to headline every
Yeah, that
festival.
shit's stupid.
Yeah.
Like, why bother? Like, I don't know. Priority is being happy, and making cool songs makes me happy.
With Hot Mulligan, I think you'll let me say this with full respect, you kind of did blow up quite quickly. I feel, in the world of music where some bands have spent 20 years trying to
Yeah.
get to this level. The rise that you've had in the short space of time is a credit to your songwriting and your music, but it must feel pretty special to be like at a festival today, knowing that you're not that first band on the first stage. You've earned your right to get a lot of respect in a short space of time.
I don't know. It's all right. It.
It's all right.
I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I it's all just kind of like circumstance.
Yeah.
I can't really make myself care more because I'm glad that I'm meeting people and like making friends and hanging out with cool musicians, and everything that we're doing to like get to that point is just kind of whatever. Like, growth is growth. I'll take it. I just want to keep making cool songs.
That's all you want to do.
Yeah.
And do you feel that there's a lifeline with your songwriting, or do you just want to do as much as you can and not even look at any kind of progress in targets? So you're not like, we need to get to this stage, we want to be at this festival. Are you
No, dude, I don't give a
just
shit.
writing music
Yeah.
and then whatever journey it takes you on?
Yeah, it's everything that happens is completely secondary to playing songs, hanging out with people I like, and yeah, I
So
don't know.
if you can do that forever, then you've reached your dream.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just not have to go and work in a 9 to 5 doing the normal stuff and just be able to do music.
My only job prospect outside of this is cutting down trees. I was a lumberjack for too long, and I don't want to do it again.
You've got an incredible lumberjack style beard. I think like
Oh,
it
yeah.
takes a lumberjack to have that thickness and that kind of volume of a beard.
Yeah.
If you don't chop trees, you never get that full effect.
Yeah.
It's always just a wishy-washy and patchy. So you've earned that, my
Fucking
friend.
testosterone. 7
Exactly.
pounds of testosterone coursing through my body right now.
And he's drinking Red Bull.
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
But hey, why not? It's a good way to go.
That's what I'm saying.
And if we keep plugging stuff like Red Bull, they might send us a crate for free because we're kind of name dropping throughout the interview.
Drink Red Bull. It's good for your heart.
And your soul. How's it looking for the rest of the weekend? Do you get to come here, play a show, and then stick around and enjoy other bands, or are you on a schedule where it's like, come in, play, and now you got to go again?
We have been. This is the ender for our tour.
Oh,
This is
nice.
the very last one. So we're gonna hang out today and like Boston Manor and Spanish Love Songs, and I think Movements are here today too. Like,
I literally have all those on the podcast today, and I've had Movements before, and what a great band those guys are.
yeah, no, all of them. They're fucking sick, and so we're ending the tour with this. We're gonna hang out with a bunch of homies. I think I'm gonna meet a dude from Delta Sleep in a little while.
Cool.
That band is fucking awesome.
I've never heard of them, so I'll check them out.
Oh yeah, they're from here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Uh,
This is what I love when I discover, because you can talk about the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and stuff, but I want to find out new music.
Yeah.
So
Dude, who gives a shit? Like, everyone knows everything about those. Like,
Yeah.
praise be cast on them all it should be, but fuck, I don't know. There's so much cool new music happening right now that,
Yeah.
like, I've never been an oldies person either.
No.
So it's like, I want to be tapped in to the new good stuff, you know? It feels like it's rarer and rarer.
I think it's cool as well that you can discover these bands. So you now mention new bands. I'll go and check them out. I can go and see new bands all weekend. And it's great because you might find that next big thing. Like last year and a couple of years ago, we had like Jimmy Eat World and Thrice, bands I love.
Yeah.
But I was discovering loads of new bands, stuff like Boston Manor in a small tent that I was like, oh man, like I found like a new toy to play with.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a few that I'm like following pretty closely right now. I made friends with them because they're all in the States, so we're all touring, and I get to see them every now and then. Arm's Length and Riley and Ben Quad, Carly Cosgrove. Like, it's like there's a bunch of good shit happening. They're just tiny, tiny little guys,
Yeah.
you know. But they're all growing like exponentially right now, and it's awesome to see. Yeah, I don't know. Good scene. Currently, we'll see how long it lasts.
I like the scene at the moment that everyone's kind of pushing everyone. There's no rivalry. There's none of this bullshit battle of bands mentality. Everyone's kind of, like you just said, you're going to see your homies and your brothers and your friends and hang out and like support each other. And there's no kind of like, I'm going to take this band down and we're going to try and take their slot. It's all about all being one big, group of people in the same.
Oh wait, should I
boat.
start beef right now?
Who should we start beef with?
Shit, who should I start beef with?
Who'd be fun to now really rip to pieces, and then
MG
we'll get them on.
MGK will try to have me killed.
Yeah, I'm not
if
going down that way.
Okay.
I mean, that will get me death threats. Their fans are too.
That's true.
Too
Taylor
hardcore.
Swift, they will kill me.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere near that. They're the two that you just don't touch right now.
Yeah, but they suck. So who do I? What are you just gonna censor all this?
Do I just go, they beep, and then they can judge if you said
Yeah,
suck
no,
or
straight
are
up.
the greatest band in the world? Like,
You should be like, when I mentioned both, I only said their names once. Just
Yeah.
beep that and then leave everything else in, and we'll leave it up to debate.
oh, let's do that. I will do that, okay? And I'll send you the audio, and then people will always wonder which two bands we were talking about. And that means we got beef with everyone
Yeah, exactly.
until we confirm who it is.
Leave
But
all this in too.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to. Tell me about what you've got rest for the weekend. You said you're going to catch some friends. Are you actually here on site tomorrow, or are you going?
Tomorrow I am fucking off to go
Yeah.
hang out with my girlfriend at home.
Nice.
And our little French Bulldog Boston Terrier mix, Bill.
My dog's called Billy,
Billy?
but it's a girl.
Ah, I
Like
see.
Billy. And
Yeah.
my other dog, which is on my phone here, this is, I swapped the backdrop today to kind of give me a schedule. But I can talk dogs all day, and I think most people that love their dogs and have their dogs will literally pull out their phones like people do with gardens or pictures
Oh,
of their
dude.
children.
I got the combo. Check it.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's special. I will show you now a picture of Florence. Just being Florence at home. She's a bit old. She's nearly 16,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
but she's cool.
She's tiny.
Yeah, she's tiny, and she'll be here on Saturday. She's coming to the festival to hang
Oh,
out.
hell yeah, dude.
So I'm doing a live podcast with Frank Turner, and Florence is going to come. But this is my favourite photo of Florence with her
Hell
tongue out.
yeah, dude.
How cool is she? So she's into a lot of good bands. She has no beef with anyone.
Ah, yes.
She's one of the good ones. But what I do on this podcast, because our time's almost up, is I ask every band that comes on to choose a song that they love that means a lot to them. So as this is all wrapped up and I've edited it and put in loads of beeps and silences,
Yeah.
what song would you love played that means a lot to you by any band in the world? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but it's kind of interesting to see what song comes to you before any other.
Tibetan Pop Stars by Hopalong.
I do not know this band, so another one
There you
I've
go.
just discovered.
Yeah. One of the best bands I've ever heard.
Yeah.
They are incredible. Their vocalist is like one of the best singers.
I'm going to discover so much new music from just you.
I got you covered, bud.
This is awesome. And
I am a nerd.
Did that just come to you because it's something that's just meaning a lot to you recently, or is there something, a bit of a connection?
It's just like, it's one of those songs that every time it comes on, I have to listen to it all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been that way for like, I don't know, 5 years. Like,
Okay.
It took a minute they are insane, so it takes a little bit for Hopalong to like really stick, but once you get it,
Yeah.
they're the best band on earth.
Wow. Shall I bleep that bit out as well? So they're like, who's the best band on earth?
Yeah.
We'll just be, so even when we're nice or we're like shitting on someone.
Oh wait, no, I have to
we're
start
always
beef.
keeping it.
Yeah.
Man, I really appreciate you coming on, and I hope it's not that long until you're back in the UK doing shows. I
Yeah.
don't know if there's any talk or anything at the moment. I know obviously it's the end of the run now, but maybe don't leave it so long and come back and
Yeah, we'll see. I
bring the dog.
bring Bill. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I'll bring Bill and I'll bring Tess, and then we'll all have a good time and eat unseasoned food.
That sounds like the uncoolest night ever, but we'll do it. Thank you for coming on the show, my friend.
Yeah, of course.
And I will speak to you very soon. So that was my final interview with Hot Mulligan. What a great guy, what a great band. If you haven't checked them out, please do. Go and stream their music, go and buy their music, go and see a show. Generally one of the bands that I've really fallen in love with over these last 6 months, and I'm going to be on this whole path of listening to everything they've ever done, and I really think they've got a huge future. Definitely a band that I'll see high up on the main stage, I reckon at 2000trees in the next 2 or 3 years. The fan base is so hardcore. Everyone I spoke to at the festival was excited to see their set, and I just think they're just brilliant. Thank you everyone for listening to today's interviews. I hope you've all enjoyed them as much as me. I say this on each and every episode because it's crucial. If you've enjoyed them, share them. Most of the people that listen to this podcast have got a Facebook account or a Twitter or Instagram or TikTok. So just hit those share buttons and let more and more people discover these podcasts. I do have a Patreon. Each and every week I mention it because it helps fund the podcast. I don't make money off this. It basically pays the bills, keeps the lights on, and means a hell of a lot. And before I go, let's give a shout out to the sponsor of the podcast, Richer Sounds. If you're in the market for anything to do with TV, home cinema, music, get on richersounds.com or hit up any of their high streets. I'll be back tomorrow with the final part of the 2000trees podcast specials with 4 bands this time round, and it's going to be a whole mix of something for everyone. So until then, everyone, look after yourself, take care, and I'll speak to you all very soon.
Seduce